Brian Ostrovsky here again, CEO of Locable and the Locable Publisher Network. And we've been doing these website breakdown videos for small businesses for quite a while, where we'll do a on-the-fly critique of what they do well, opportunities to improve, and things they just need to add or modify or even get rid of in some cases. And it's been a successful series. So we've had a few publishers ask us to do the same thing for their approach to their website and to digital. And this week we're going to look at Midland Living magazine. So Midland Living has recently endeavored into the digital landscape. They launched their website with us a number of months back, and now they're starting to make a big effort. As you see as we go through today, we're actually going to advocate that they reduce their effort but refocus a bit. So with that, let's take a look. So as I'm looking here at their website, obviously it's a lovely looking site that we power for them. They have a number of new articles highlighting faces and places, which is great. The first thing, and we talk about this a lot, and that is the use of descriptive titles. It's often true that in print, clever titles play, but online, you want it to be descriptive. You want it to include a few different subjects, who it is, where it is, what's it about, and then what's going on. So these short titles that you see, some of these are just too short. Hometown bundles should be expanded with some description because that is the thing that people will see on social media and email the most. As I scroll down, you see they're growing their email newsletter, which is great. They're active on Facebook. That's great. We're going to talk more about that. And they're using our ITI approach, which is how to highlight their print content online. So as I look here, as I look at this article, the things that I like that they do is that they are creating this table of contents. They're inserting content snippets, and so this is a single source of truth for this issue. What could use some adjustment is that they're actually linking to their digital edition. But if you take a look and you go over to their digital edition, you'll see you can actually, in most cases, get an embed code. So this could be embedded right on the article. People don't have to leave to read it, and that way everything you share related to this issue goes straight here. So kind of minor stuff, but really powerful and easy to adjust. Next, let's look at one of these articles. So this is an article, Midland Mom's blog, and as I'm scrolling through, there's great photographs. The first thing you notice is this somewhat lengthy wall of text. This should be broken up, turn it into 3, maybe even 4 paragraphs for quick scanning and readability. Be sure to incorporate links if you need to, some separators in terms of titles to call out sections so people can scan. And what they've done is they've used images which act as natural separators, but maybe add a title each step along the way. And so we've got that going on the page. So a couple of small but important things to adjust. Let's go look at social media. All right, so when you look at their Facebook page and you start to scroll through, the first thing that you'll notice is they're posting a lot. 9 hours ago, 10 hours ago, etc. This is too much. And the reason that it's too much is it takes some time for your post to reach its maximum potential. And so when you post in quick, rapid succession, Facebook will start to distribute it, and then it's likely that that reach will get cut off as the next post comes out. Also, while your content's good, people don't want to see 5 posts from you a day, so you want to moderate that. The next thing is, while there's tagging happening here, this smacks of posting to Instagram and sharing it to Facebook. You should not do that. They are different cultures in terms of how things work, and while hashtags are okay on Facebook, you always want to include a message. If you don't have something to say, people probably won't care enough to read on it. So you want to include a message, but ironically enough, this feels like too much. So immediately when I see this much content, I start to think this should make a quick hitter article on your website. It should be posted as an article. It should be linking to any businesses, and it should be shared to Facebook. But here's the thing. I noticed this links out to their email newsletter service. So what this means is you're using Facebook to send people not to your website, but to your email newsletter. And it looks okay, but the reality is this content here that you see all lives on your website. You should be sharing from your website to Facebook, from your website to email, and they both should be funneling back to your website because you want people on your site, yes, to show ads, but also for Google to see it, for people to be able to discover more content, all that good stuff. So there is no good reason that I can think of to share an email newsletter like this to your Facebook page. All of the same content should be shared directly to your Facebook page. and you should always be tagging folks if you can. High Sky Children's Ranch, for instance. You want to tag them so they then amplify your message. And then as you keep going, we start to see some ads sorts of stuff. So we want to be really careful with this. First off, Facebook has really smart artificial intelligence. They know this is an ad. They know it's a picture with a lot of text. You're not going to reach many folks. You've got 2 shares, or rather 2 engagements, but that's not much. So you really need to be careful what you share that's not overly promotional, or Facebook will flag you as a spammer. So you want to get the promotional stuff going on your site and share to Facebook, but really try to link back to human stories that might have promotional content mixed in. We get here to the first day of school, which is what's going on here where we are, and you start to see these pictures, which is great, but all of a sudden I start to see a few of these. What comes to mind for me is, let's create an article. Let's create a back-to-school article. Let's highlight some kids, and then let's put a call out to Facebook and say, hey, we want to see your back-to-school pictures. Let's get some user-generated content going. And when you do this, all of a sudden you're engaging people, they're submitting content, your reach is growing, you can post another article, maybe that article even shows up in print, and now you're sourcing content online that reaches out to print, or at least on your website, to create a story arc, and you can have a series of these playing out. So once you start to see this sort of thing, you'll want to be opportunistic. Again, as we continue down, you start to see more promotional stuff, and some, that's okay, back to school, but I would say save it for something meaty. That's a useful thing. Reminder school zones, be safe, things of that nature. You might want to go further again. Here's the schools that are going back to school. Here's the bell schedule for when they start and stop. You know, you could turn that into some content on your website. Maybe you tied that in to the Meet the Teacher here. And now you've got all of this stuff that Google sees that you can share to your email newsletter, and obviously shows up on Facebook. There's so much happening here. Refocusing and adjusting will see your results simply grow and grow and grow. So lots of really good things here, and it's really about repurposing and making sure you're sharing enough from your website to Facebook. It is a distribution channel after all, and as we've been scrolling, I haven't seen one share from the Facebook page. So you want to mix those in, and again, always have share messages. For what it's worth, this is a PTA meeting. Make sure it's an event on your calendar. Again, share from the calendar to Facebook. And even this 15 apps parents should know, this sounds like an article to me. You could interview a local detective or sheriff or cop. You can talk to a few parents. All of a sudden, this little graphic that you have turns into a real custom local message, maybe sponsored by a local business who wants to be associated with protecting children and good screen time habits and all of those sorts of things. So a lot of really great stuff, a lot of content, and now it's really about getting the most bang for your publisher buck and delivering the most value as a resource for your community.